Vincent Van Gogh, people told him, you can't be a great painter, you only have one ear. You know what he said? I can't hear you.
Listening to Sippin' Sports, a Phillies sports talk morning show with Chris, KJ, and Dalt. Proudly powered by 302 Birds. Let's take it to the show.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another Saturday in the world of Phillies sports talk. Obviously, there's a lot going on, as always. You guys can see we got a new guest here on the show. I don't even know what to call him. Money Mac?
Let's go. Money Mac is back. Well,
back
never
in the
actually.
building.
It's born. Yeah, it's born now. But yeah, I got this off the TikTok shop, so it's pretty icy and whatever. So it's got me feeling it. So
can the people go buy it from your TikTok shop? Is it for sale?
I believe it's promoted on my TikTok shop. I'm pretty sure. If it's not, I'm gonna somehow promote it or whatever. But yeah, I think it is there. I'm pretty sure. So go to my TikTok shop. I think it is in there for official KJ McCoy. So
okay.
Appreciate you guys. So
but yeah, I mean, I'm loving the drip. As you guys can see, KJ and I are obviously ready for Dallas week. We got a ton on tap for you guys today, though. We're going to start with the Soto update and talk about the latest on the Phillies pursuit. Unfortunately, I don't think it's looking too good. We're going to talk about the Sixers being despicable. Obviously, KJ's going to talk more about that than me. He's way more informed than I am, but 1-7 is not very good. Talk about the Washington Commanders on the flip side of that almost with an impressive 7-2 record. So Washington, are we scared of them? They're going up against Pittsburgh. We'll talk about that. We're going to talk about Saquon Barkley potentially being the best Eagles running back of all time. Not recency bias because the backwards hurdle. Yes, it was impressive, but we're going to look at some of the stats and some of the yards too. And last but not least, we're going to give you guys that Dallas Cowboy preview. And hopefully our guest will be coming on too. We should have a special guest for you guys. That's a great Dallas Cowboys fan. So let's go ahead and get into it here, Mac.
Maybe even Jerry Jones will make an appearance. You never know.
That would be a lot of fun. I mean, that guy
might make an appearance all the way from Dallas. You never know.
If you need me to talk to the people while Jerry Jones comes on the show, I got you. Just let me know. But
I'll let you know.
Soto.
Yep.
Is he staying in New York? That's what the reports are saying. What are you thinking?
I think that's what I predicted. I said that he was going to get the deal done with New York. They want to bring him back. Obviously, I mean, they came up short, but they came really close. The Yankees, I mean, Soto obviously didn't have the best of performance in the series, but I mean, hey, he's still a crazy, wicked player. I mean, he's talented as crap. I mean, like all the teams in the MLB want a shot at Soto, and I think it was going to happen. I think they're going to get it done. The Yankees are going to try and re-sign him back. I think they're going to be honestly thinking to themselves, we made a mistake letting him go to either the Mets or the Phillies or heck, even some other teams. The good thing is it seems like he's staying on the East Coast. He's already stated he wants to stay in the East Coast. So we'll see what he gets done. But I would probably say it's 95% in my book. He's going to be back with the New York Yankees.
Yeah, I think it's I wouldn't say 95% for me. He'll be back with the New York Yankees. Mitch, I want to thank you for joining up here. We appreciate you, man. If you ever want to call into the show, let me know. But I'll say this. I think for me, it's probably like 80 Yankees, 10 Mets, I think there's like a 90% chance he'll stay in the New York area. And then if I had to say probably after that, you probably have the last 10% cluster between teams like the wild cards, as some of them are calling, or the sleeper teams to sign Soto, the Phillies, the Giants, the Dodgers, and the Nats. So you got those teams that are kind of clustered there too. In my opinion, what do I think will happen? I don't know. I mean, it all comes down to Bryce Harper and his pursuit. We've seen Bryce Harper ask people to prom. So how aggressive will Bryce Harper get in this approach? All jokes aside, seriously, I mean, this is his old teammate. This is kind of that core of Washington, of what he used to exist on. All these guys were his teammates. So if he could get Soto to come back to Philadelphia, back with some of his former teammates, it could get dangerous fast. But the thing is, it's one guy. I'm reading a report this morning, however, saying that the Phillies could have a backup plan. The backup plan being for Alex Bregman, saying Bregman could be capable of two things. He can play third and he can play second. We all know that Bohm might go, but some people now in the report are even saying, well, what if Stott went? What if Bregman could do both? And that gives you flexibility then to kind of say, okay, what's better for the team? Who's better to pay? Who's better to keep? Personally, I don't think I would get rid of Stott, but however, if Bregman could come in to replace Bohm at third base, I might be okay with that. When you look at how successful the Astros were as far as postseason goes, I think 4 of their 8 years that he was there, they had a World Series appearance, and they were in the postseason, I think, 8 consecutive years too. That's underrated for the people that think that that's easy to do in any sport. That's not an easy thing to do. So, in my opinion, if the Phillies could go out and get a stud like one of those two guys, I'd be happy. They got to make some kind of a change, though. They got to press some kind of different button because whatever the fuck they're doing is not working. And, the daycare clearly hasn't grown up into the high school or whatever they're supposed to be at this point. And everybody was lights out batting wise this playoff series for the second consecutive year. And that sucks.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be great to get Alex Bregman. I think that would be a great addition for this team. You've kind of heard my opinion with the whole daycare situation. I think it's overrated. I think it's so I think it's dumb because obviously these guys are grown men, but they don't play like grown men. And you're calling them the daycare and whatever. It makes sense because you know what? Alec Bohm, with his attitude, he deserves to be in a daycare. He's always whining on the freaking in the dugout. He's whining, slamming bats like he belongs in a daycare. So honestly, it makes sense. But I said this before. I want grown men play on this team who want to win playoff games, that want to win in the postseason, and not just want to lie down there, like something that can't move, like something that's dead. And that's what it seems like in this postseason. And it's just, we get all of our hopes up as Phillies fans. We believe in this team. We put money into this team. We get gear. We even buy tickets to go to the games, and they blow up in our faces. So, and I mean, that's just not the Phillies. I mean, that's a lot of our Philadelphia sports teams, and that's just the reality with it. But yeah, I think to get a guy like that, I mean, obviously that would be great. And kind of figure it out, because you've been making moves and some moves haven't worked, but we need to make more moves, I feel like, to actually maybe get this team over the hump that we've been trying to get over, that we've been trying to obviously go back to the World Series, but actually win it this time. So I think that would be great to get a guy like Bregman, because he's a guy who literally, he killed us when we played them. I believe he was one of the guys who killed us in 2022 in the World Series. And heck, to have him on this team, that would be cherry on top of the sundae, I guess you could say.
They got to go out and get some kind of a baller, somebody that's going to figure out a way to show up in the playoffs. Not saying Soto did, but Soto throughout the season.
We would love to get Soto. I think that'd be great, but it's just, I'm just telling you the way it is. He probably will be staying in New York, and no, Mets fans, not with you guys, but I think he's going to be with the Yankees. So, I mean, the guy who wasted a jersey, creating a Mets jersey, saying, "Oh, Soto's going to be a Met. Look, I got back on my jersey, Soto and Mets on the front." Well, you can burn that, because it's not happening, bud. It's not happening. Sorry,
the one thing I'll say too is The Phillies just got 3 new investors, which is going to be big for them.
Oh,
They do have a little bit more money to play with. I read online one of these investors donated $50 million to Chop, which is an awesome thing
that
to
is
do. I'm
great.
glad that they donated it to Chop, but the fact that people have $50 million sitting around, hey, props to them, power to them, because that's awesome that you're able to earn that much. I wish I have that gene one day, but that's insane. So that should give you guys a little bit of context out there who are listening for how much money some of these people have. So they have some real power. Like if they really want to make a push, I think that they will. You can't forget last year too. Middleton's still going to have that sour taste in his mouth about Yamamoto. The Phillies went $300 million in for Yamamoto last year and thought, okay, we pretty much got this guy locked up. I think Yamamoto's favorite player too was Bryce Harper, correct, KJ?
Who he was? You were saying what?
Yamamoto's favorite player, was it Bryce Harper? Or am I thinking of somebody else?
No, Yoshida. Yoshida from the Red Sox.
Sorry, pardon
Yeah,
me.
Yoshida from the Red Sox was actually a Phillies fan because of Bryce Harper. And
Yep.
I think they did like a jersey swap thing when the Red Sox played the Phillies. So it was Yoshida.
Sorry. So that's on
Yeah.
me. The main thing is I remember the Phillies made a good pursuit. Like the players ran on it, the organization was in on it, the money was in on it. Like everything felt like the Phillies were going to actually go out and get Yamamoto. We were excited about it. And then boom, he became a Dodger. And then boom, the Dodgers are World Series champions. Congratulations to Yamamoto. Congratulations to the Dodgers organization, the Dodgers fans. Well earned, well deserved. But John Middleton, I think, is going to have a sour taste in his mouth from that because he wanted Yamamoto, just like we did, the fans, and they lost. So now that they have these new players, I wonder if the Phillies are almost playing silent. Like if they're going to do something big. I wonder. And if none of us are going to see it coming and it's going to come out of nowhere and they just didn't want anybody to know about it and they didn't want to be public about it. I wonder if I'll go back to this take and if that will hold true. I wonder because man, I mean, I just feel like it's stupid. It's stupid to stay in the same spot. And if they don't go get somebody, I'm definitely not going to watch the Phillies with the same attitude and the same just care. I'll leave it at that because I don't want to be too more depressing on the Phillies. We will see.
We'll just get depressing on another
happens.
topic.
Yeah, we'll just get depressing on another topic,
Yeah.
like KJ said.
Get
I'll go ahead.
Get your tissues out, all right, boys?
Yeah,
And
get your
girls.
tissues out. I'll go ahead and take this one first because I'll be a little bit more lighthearted about it, I guess. And I know KJ will be more in detail, but we're ass. As Shady McCoy said when he was talking about Dak. Ass. That's the Philadelphia 76ers right now. They lost last night to the Lakers. They're 1-7 now. Maxi's out, Embiid's suspended. Paul George, I think it's fair to say, hasn't really been the player that we wanted him to be. There were a couple decent moments in the game last night. I did get to see the highlights. They went on a 12-2 run in the first quarter where they looked pretty sharp. Their three ball, I thought, looks pretty solid as a team, too. Drummond, who's averaging 9.2 points per game throughout the season and 10.8 rebounds, but he had 14 points last night, which was his career high. Not his career high, I'm sorry, his season high all year, and 12 rebounds. So it's nice to see him kind of come out of his shell, but man, this team sucks without Embiid. Like, cool. Like, those are great. You know what I mean? Like, that's the only positive thing that I could make to say out of the Sixers was that list was Drummond having a season high of 14 points. And he's having a pretty good return so far. As Sixers fans, I think we all knew that. But Maxey being out, Embiid being suspended. I don't blame Embiid for being suspended too, just to dabble in that topic a little bit. I know we touched on it on 302 Birds, but you don't talk about somebody's dead relative and you don't talk about somebody's family members, especially their children. So that crossed a very big line. So I don't really blame Embiid for the suspension. I hope it's a learning lesson for Embiid because if it happened again, then I would blame Embiid, right? Like it's like a fool me one time, shame on you. Okay, it happened now. Like you have to be that athlete too. And same thing to Kelsey. You know, they had all these moments this week. It happened one time. I don't blame either of them for what happened. I want to be clear about that. They're both human and both of those people were out of line. But now that it happened once, when it happens again, they got to be prepared for it. Because if it happens again, and they lash out like that, the media is going to just spiral with it. And it's going to not be a good thing. So I just feel like the Sixers are the cluster of all clusters in Philly sports right now. How are you feeling about it, Mac?
Yeah, it is a cluster. I could go on with a bunch of other words. I can go in the dictionary and find a bunch of words that describe the Sixers. But yeah, they lost to the Lakers. Lakers are 5-4. We're 1-7. And it sucks to watch this team right now. Paul George only had, he played 25 minutes. He only scored 9 points, which is kind of sad. I mean, he went 4 for 13 from the field. I mean, that's not good. That is not good at all for a guy you paid in the offseason to help this team be a Eastern Conference contender and hopefully Eastern Conference Finals contender, maybe even NBA Finals. But right now, NBA Finals, even discussing that, we should be discussing that watching on the couch because that's how this team is looking. I mean, I know we don't have Embiid, as Dalt already said. Yeah, it sucks. It is really early, though. We do have 82 games in the NBA season, 82 games. So there's a lot of basketball still to be played. There's some teams right now that are just going off. Like the Cleveland Cavaliers are one team that they are insane. I mean, they're 9-0, and they are just playing as a team together. This team right now, the Sixers, I said this before, there's a lot of new pieces that really have never played with each other before. I mean, you got Caleb Martin, you got Paul George, Andre Drummond back on the team. You got Jared McCain, the rookie. You got Adeem Bona as well, who's a rookie. Reggie Jackson. And then you got the guy Yobaseli from France as well. So yeah, it's crazy how these guys really can't gel yet. And I think maybe when Embiid comes back on Tuesday, which I will be at that game. Shout out to my guy, Rome. We will be at the game. It'll be his first NBA game. So an NBA Cup game, actually. That's going to be awesome. So the court's going to be all blue and everything like that. The whole added on crap that they do for the NBA Cup. But we'll see. I mean, if you know what, that'll make us happy. If the Sixers can somehow win an NBA Cup, you know what, maybe I'll be a little bit more happier about the team. Maybe we will. Will there be a parade? I don't know. That would kind of be a little sad, but I don't know. It's just a weird kind of it's a weird kind of thing they're doing in the NBA. But yeah, this team needs to get back on track. And I think when they do get Embiid, I think it will awaken this team and hopefully awaken the beast in Embiid because he is an MVP caliber player. He's won an MVP title before. He wants to get back out there. It might not seem like it, but I think he really does want to get back out there. Obviously, the incident happened. So, I mean, it's depressing with this team. It really is. And we just gotta wait and see what happens with this Sixers team. And shout out to Dennis, 302 Fantasy. Yeah, we're gonna be actually speaking of the Sixers. I haven't even announced this yet. Do I have permission to announce this?
Yeah, go ahead.
We are actually starting a Sixers post-game show. Also, we'll be also interviewing former members of the Sixers, people who were in the organization, people who were around the organization. So that's going to be a really cool show. We got a lot of tricks up our sleeves. We're excited. And me and Dennis are ready to rock and roll for the Sixers, even though the team right now on the court is not rocking and rolling. I mean, they are just rolling down the standings. That's what they're doing.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
But yeah, they are starting a Sixers post-game show. So be sure to tune into that. That's just going to be another added on feature of the 302 Birds umbrella. We're really trying to cover 4 for 4 in Philly sports and those main sports and make that the focus of this channel for you guys being, hey, Eagles content, Phillies content, Sixers content, Flyers content.
Yep.
So if you guys enjoy that, if you guys like that kind of stuff, everybody's going to kind of be taking the sport by the horns. Obviously, you guys know Jack and I are your Eagles guys. Shardy, Brendan, and Fratty cover the Phils, sometimes with Ballpark Tommy hopping in when he can. And KJ and Dennis are going to be our Sixers guys. So we're going to try to find some Flyers guys at some point too, especially as the Flyers are getting better here But yeah, I mean, it's going to be a fun season for the Sixers, to say the least. I mean, when a team has no expectations, in my opinion, it's fun because the unexpected happens. Speaking of the unexpected, all right. I might have expected it just because I'm an LSU guy. Go Tigers, baby. But Jaden Daniels has go Tigers. Go Tigers.
Go Tigers.
See, I got it in my throat there doing that,
Joe.
just like it. Ed Oregon, hanging out with underage women at a bar. Go Tigers.
Well, I wasn't going to go there, but all right.
Well, college girls. Yeah, he's a freak.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
LSU still makes good quarterbacks. We've seen that with Joe Burrow. We're seeing it with Jaden Daniels right now. And somebody asked me this, and I want to ask you guys and the fans, and we'll ask KJ in a second. I'll give my opinion here for you guys. But let us know in the comments, are you guys scared? Are you scared of Jaden Daniels? Do you think he's the real deal? As an NFC East fan, a division that has really been controlled by the Eagles and Cowboys for arguably over the past decade, are you scared of this new kid on the block, Jaden Daniels, or do you think that this is another phase for the Washington Commandos and the wheels are going to fall off at some point? I'll say this. That is my long story short, to make it short. I think, in my opinion, that the Commanders, they are not a good team. They are not a good franchise. They're going to fall off. And this Jaden Daniels thing is not going to last long term. In my opinion, I am scared about the game next week, though. The reason is in 2022, KJ was there. I was there. Chaos Chris was there with us, who is actually in Disney today. That's why he can't be on the podcast. I know we put that in the description. So if you guys read that, that's why he's not here. But we were all at the game. And in 2022, they beat us when nobody expected them to. So I'm nervous. It's another Thursday night football game in November in Philadelphia, where that Washington team is chippy. They are better than people make them out to be. I don't think that they would beat us in the playoffs. I hope not. I think we're way better of a roster on paper, but I am a little bit scared. I mean, how are you feeling over there?
I ain't scared. I'm not scared. I ain't scared of no Commandos. Nope. I'm not scared at all. I think it's going to be a really good game. It's going to be gritty as heck. I'm so not scared that I even put on the helmet. That means I'm ready to go in if they need me to go in. So I'm going in.
I'm going
in. So yeah, I'm not scared. They're a great team. Jaden Daniels, great quarterback for sure. They got a really great squad around them for sure. And yeah, I think it's going to be a dogfight. It's going to be a dogfight, and both teams are going to be ready to go. It's going to be awesome. I cannot wait to be there as well. I'll be there, so that's going to be awesome. Cannot wait for that. But I'm not. I know right now, Washington's on a high right now. They're doing great and whatever. But I would say this: if the Eagles can go out there and play their game, if they can really play a complete game, the way they played against the Giants, and I mean, the Giants did put up a fight against the Commanders last week. They put up a fight at the end. I know it was kind of like it made it look like it was a really close game. The whole game, it wasn't though. So yeah, I think honestly, we can if we wake up, if Nick Sirianni can get out of his head and not start telling the media some false information, everything like that, then I think the Eagles will put up a good fight. So I'm ready.
I think so too. I think Terry McLaurin as well. Look, the Commanders just made a good push too. I got to give them credit where credit's due. As an organization, ever since Fucknut being Dan Snyder's left, even though they still got another Fucknut, our owner, Josh Harris, it's been better for them. So I will give them credit that they made a good move. They went out and got Lattimore at the trade deadline. They kind of pushed that button I feel that they needed to push to make another playoff push. So as a Commanders fan, if I was you guys, I would be happy. Terry McLaurin is having, I think, one of the best seasons he's ever had. He finally has somebody that he can feel can be a solid quarterback that he's confident in. So for the Commanders, they're riding high. They really are. I am a little bit nervous still about this game. I'm not scared about Washington long term. I want to be clear about that. I'm not scared of them long term. I am scared about this game. Chippy team coming into our stadium. Now it looks like they're probably going to beat Dallas, which we'll get to in a second. Especially, look, I think this week is a trap game for the Commanders. They're going up against Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is coming into their stadium. It's an away game for Pittsburgh. I could see Pittsburgh upsetting Washington in their stadium, that being one of their wins. So if that happens, that's going to be a bad thing for the Philadelphia Eagles because the Commanders are going to be coming off a loss, which means that they're going to be playing as a different team. I'm actually kind of rooting for the Commanders to win this week because I think they'll kind of be on a win streak. We'll kind of be on a win streak. It'll be like two teams going up against each other. If they lose this game, they're going to almost have less to lose and more to gain. So I could see the Commanders definitely taking advantage of the Eagles like they did and that falling to Philadelphia's benefit. So I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm almost rooting for the Commanders this week so that they don't have that momentum, or so that they have that momentum rather, but that cockiness. I'm hoping that they get that cockiness and that edge to them to where the Eagles can kind of upset them in their home stadium. I feel like a team coming off a loss has a different edge to them. At least the Eagles do. It's very hard to beat the Eagles back-to-back times, in my opinion. I don't know how you feel about it, but that's my take. Now, do you have anything else to say about the Commandos before we move on to your boy?
I'll say I think this game against the Steelers is a test for them. I mean, obviously, you got what looks like a really like a revamped Russell Wilson for the Steelers. I said this, and people were like, "Oh, that's not going to happen." The one place that I thought could revamp Russell Wilson, kind of get him out of his funk that he was in with Denver, is Pittsburgh, because Mike Tomlin is a successful head coach. He pretty much makes the postseason almost every season. I think he's only missed the postseason maybe once or twice. So if a guy can really try and save a guy's career, that's Mike Tomlin for Russell Wilson, I feel like. So, yeah, I mean, he had a really stellar game last week, especially for fantasy owners of Russell Wilson. So people were loving that. But, yeah, we'll see what happens against a pretty hot Commanders team right now. You got me saying Commandos now. So, yeah, I think that's going to be a good game for them. I think either way, though, I think the Commanders, even if they do win, they're going to feel very confident. They're going to be coming in the Philly. It's going to be a short week for both teams, for the Eagles and the Commanders. It's going to be a very short week because we got to go from Sunday to Thursday. Because wait, is their game a 1 o'clock game as well, or is it a 4:25 or 4:05?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
But hey,
it is, I mean,
going about this guy.
Yeah.
I mean, this has been a question up for debate. We talked about it a little bit on Wednesday night show. Would you say already, in the 8 games that we've seen, is Saquon Barkley the best running back that the Eagles have ever had?
Oh, it's insane. And I remember we were talking about this a couple of years ago when Dalt was saying, hey, could A.J. Brown be one of the best Eagles receivers of all time? I mean, it's crazy to think we make another kind of move and we have another guy currently who can be that kind of statement kind of player where you pretty much can go back and be like, holy crap, he was one of the best Eagles running backs we've ever had. To think this guy was playing for the Giants for, 6 seasons? He was there at least. He was there for like 6 seasons, I'm pretty sure. If it's wrong, I'm sorry. But, I mean, we feel bad for the guy because they never built around him. They never really believed in him. The fans did. And now the Giants fans just don't. They hate him. They think he's a traitor. But they honestly, every week they would watch Hard Knocks in the summer, and they saw behind the scenes what exactly happened with Saquon Barkley. But that's the thing. The Eagles have a good roster. They have a good offensive line, a very young offensive line, but they're already really good. So, I mean, we've shown that our offensive line is able to make running backs better, and Saquon's already good to begin with. And just the impact he's made here, I mean, the moves that he's been doing, it's been insane. I think he has the chance to be one of the best all-time Eagles, for sure. He does. But there's a lot of great running backs we've had in the past. B. West, Brian Westbrook. You've had Shady McCoy. You've had, I'm trying to think who else. Wilbert Montgomery. You had Steve Van Buren as well. So that's a great list of Ricky Waters as well. Ricky Waters. So you could keep on going down the list if you got anybody else as well on the running back list that you would say is a legend. I think Saquon's already put in a statement that he wants to be in that kind of conversation. He has the talent. I mean, he is just a freaking monster. And he's such a great teammate as well. And that's what I love, his unselfishness to just honestly be there for his teammates and like put his teammates before himself at times. And he's also like, people were saying like, oh, when he did that backwards hurdle, they were like, oh, are you getting sick of it? And he's like, yeah, I'm kind of getting sick of it. I just want to move on from it. And I just want to focus on the next game. And that's what he is. He just puts his mindset in the driver's seat and he just keeps on going. And I think with Saquon being in that conversation, yeah, I think he could be. But I still think we need to see a couple more seasons from Saquon as an Eagle. And I think that will really tell us if he is an Eagles all-time running back great, which he's already kind of showing that. So
hey, I'll tell you this.
That's debatable, but it's a great debate.
I'm not getting sick of it. I know Mac's not getting sick of it.
No.
I just bought a t-shirt this week with the backwards hurdle on it. It's coming in the mail next week. I can't wait to wear it.
Man.
So I will say everybody has been very loud about it. I think it's not that it's unfair to the Jaguars player, but life goes on, like Saquon said. And I think I'm glad that you brought that up, KJ. That just, I think, goes to show how humble of a player Saquon Barkley is. Like, it's not about making the other guy look like an idiot or breaking his ankle. You know what I mean? It's about just, okay, I made a good football play. Let's go. Next play. Come on. I'm going to do it again. And if you look at the Jacksonville game, the New York Giants game, the New Orleans game, and the Green Bay game, he single-handedly won all of those games for us. You see comments like this on Instagram where people are like, hey, he lost that Atlanta game. Well, guess what, buddy? He completely dominated that Jacksonville game with his season high in attempts with 27. He had 159 yards and a touchdown on the ground. And then the Giants, he had 17 attempts, but he averaged 10.4 yards per carry, his season high there as well. And he had 176 yards. He could have went for over 200 if he wanted to. We all saw that. So he's got over 925 yards through 8 games, and he's averaging 115 yards per game. And that's just the rushing yards. That doesn't include any of the receiving, the beautiful screen receiving touchdowns that we've seen. This dude, like KJ pointed out, is in the category already of LaShawn McCoy, Steve Van Buren, like some of the old heads would say, Wilbert Montgomery, Brian Westbrook, of course, an Eagles great. You could argue Darren Sproles and Miles Sanders to a lesser degree. But, hey, guess what? Take all of those guys that I just mentioned.
The Eagles all-time greats. I wouldn't say that.
I would say that they are contributing Eagles running backs, though, solid Eagles running backs in recent memory. But my point is, take every single running back that I just named there, right? They all do extremely different things. Saquon can do every single one of them. If not as well, if not better. I said what I said. It might be a hot take. Some people may argue on the receiving running back aspect with Sproles. Okay, say what you want. Let's see it in the comments. Make an educated take. I want to see why you say that. But in my opinion, I mean, looking at it, Saquon has proved that he is an insane receiving Eagles running back with some of these catches that he's had. You look at his run game, and like I said, he's averaging 115 yards a game. Yeah, I'll say it. Book it now. I'll knock on wood, damn it. I just knocked on wood. Sorry, dog. Sorry, that Penny and Roxy and all of them are getting excited now in the back. But my point is, this is going to be the best Eagles running back I think we've ever seen. And like KJ pointed out too, I made my take about A.J. Brown. This could be the 90s Cowboys, to just give our Cowboys this week some credit, for our Philadelphia Eagles, of players like Emmitt Smith playing with Michael Irvin. Like for Eagles, like they have the caliber of being that good at their time. Now comes the hard part. Now you got to win a ring. Now you got to get a championship out of it. We need a parade. Please, God, please. I'm praying right now on this podcast, on this
Let's
show,
all pray together.
on November 9th. KJ with me. Please, God, bless our Philadelphia Eagles and our fans with the championship. Give us another memory that we will never forget, please. It may not be perfect on the way there, but 2017 and 2018 wasn't perfect. So please just give us that ring one more time. Amen. Father, Son, Holy Spirit, amen. And Howie Roseman, God bless us. But seriously, I mean, we're craving it. You guys can see how KJ and I are. Look at KJ. I mean, he basically looks like he works for the Eagles security right now. Like he's Big Tom 2.0 out there with that jacket on, the chain, the hat. But I mean,
that's right.
I think if there's any player that could do it for the Eagles or any two players, it's arguable to say it's A.J. Brown and Saquon, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think those guys, hopefully, I mean, we have the talent. And I mean, we just need our coach to get out of his head. We need our coach to get out of his head. And obviously, there was some stuff that happened this week and whatever, and it kind of made him look like a fool. But I think honestly, he just needs to get out of his head, and that's the main thing. And this team can get over the hump. They've shown that they have talent. They show that they have the roster. So just go out there, play ball. Yeah, that is. I was about to bring up this question. He's on pace for over 350 touches. Is that going to be too much? I wouldn't say so. I mean, you know what? That means that they want to run the ball, and we want to see them run the ball because he deserves to get the ball. So, I mean, I don't think he's ever got that many touches for the Giants. They didn't really believe in him that much. So, honestly, I think that's fine. As long as he's not being like, okay, like I'm injured or whatever, like, all right, they're running me too much, which I don't think he's like that at all. But he will say, you know what, I will give it to some of the other guys. You know what, let the young bucks go at it. Let them get some yardage as well. But yeah, I think I don't think it's too much. I don't. I really don't. I think, you know what, if you could win football games and you can get it done, then who gives a crap? Honestly, who cares?
We have him here for 3 years too. It's not like we like, and I don't mean that in a disrespectful way to Saquon, but I mean like get your money's worth. You know what I mean? Like if you're paying the guy, use him, utilize him. And I don't mean to the point of where he's getting injured, but I think when you look at how the Eagles have used him all year, 27 takes last week, 22 takes, 17, 18, 10, 17, 22, 24. They're conservative in certain games. So I think that as the season goes on, we'll see the trend continue. I don't think because he's on pace for over 350 touches, he'll have 350 touches. I think it'll be maybe more in the ballpark of like 300, maybe like 285-ish. Because I think that last game, that maybe those last 2 games, if the Eagles keep up on this win streak, they should be sitting their starters. So that could hurt his stats, but that's unfortunately the way the NFL goes. But I'll tell you what, best free agency acquisition, I think, all year, arguably. And going in to a week that we've been waiting for. You see KJ, he's getting hyped up. I don't think our guest is here yet. I don't know if he's coming or not. I haven't heard from him. So I do apologize for that. But I wanted him to help me out and solve this puzzle. But I'll go ahead and ask McCoy. All right, KJ. Can you solve this puzzle for me, my friend?
Yep. I mean, you know, I try and not curse too much.
You don't got to curse.
Yeah, no, I don't. That's what I'm saying.
That's like
I don't.
A
so, is it F-U-K?
Yeah. You ding, ding, ding. You won. You guys know. I'll go ahead and say it because I know KJ doesn't like to curse. But hey, guys, this week, fuck the Cowboys. I got my shirt. I have my shirt that says this. This is one of my favorites. Or I'm sorry, I think mine says Dallas sucks. But hey, to the same message.
It's got the kid peeing. It's got the kid peeing on the Cowboys logo, right?
I don't have that shirt yet. I do have Dallas sucks.
You did have that. Remember?
I don't know if I have that. Maybe I do. We'll have to talk about it after the show. I don't think I have that shirt. Dead ass. Maybe somebody else does. I don't think I have it.
Okay.
I know. Oh, Batman. You're talking about the Batman taking the piss. Yes. I do have that shirt. I have to go find that shirt now. Thank you. I forgot I had that. All right. I'm getting that out now. That's a legendary shirt. I'm flashing that shirt up on the screen right now, not to you live users, but if we go back and edit this shirt is legendary, guys. It's a Kelly Green shirt of like the chubby kid that's always taking a piss on the back of somebody's pickup truck as you're coming down the highway on another team's logo usually. But they put the Batman eyes on him. So it looks like A.J. Brown almost. And then he's taking a piss on the Dallas logo, and it says Dallas sucks. So I am going to go break that shirt out because it is the week of weeks. But I'll say this. Trap game. If you guys don't know what a trap game is essentially when a team that's superior is playing a team that's inferior or lesser than them, not as good, and they kind of play down to them. They don't play to the same level that they should. And am I a little bit worried about that? I was because the Eagles are on a win streak. It just feels almost too good to be true until I saw this stat, KJ. Cooper Rush, in his 6 starts with the Cowboys, he is 5-1. That's pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is pretty good. But hey, guess what? His one loss, it's to the Philadelphia Eagles, mofo.
I was at that game.
Yeah.
I was at that
guess
game.
What?
I was at that
His
game.
Stats in those 6 starts, 7 touchdowns. Okay, that's pretty good. 4 picks. 3 of those picks came in that game against the Philadelphia Eagles in 2022. So KJ McCoy, I am booking my ticket this week. I'm making the bet for an anytime defensive touchdown. And if I could bank on any player to get it, Mac, I'm calling it this week. Quinyon Mitchell, not only first career pick 6. I'm saying it on Saturday, November 9th, 10:51 a.m. I'm locking in the bet. Awesome. I have a weird feeling that with Cooper Rush's turnover tendency, especially against the Philadelphia Eagles, history will repeat itself, my friends. And I could see him undercutting a route and holding true to fuck the Cowboys, my friends. I don't know. How you feeling about it, Mac?
Yeah, that would be awesome to see Quinyon get a pick. I know that there's been some opportunities this season that he's been disappointed in himself where he feels like, oh, I could have got a pick there. God, come on. Like, why can't I get a pick right there? You got your chance to do it. And I think you go for it, obviously, and that's going to be awesome. If that actually does happen, Dolt, you're a freaking god. You're already a god anyway. So
thank you, bud. I appreciate you. But hey, you're a god too, just for God's sake. And who's going to be a god this week is going to be Quinyon. Book it. And maybe Rome will have to book it too, our betting buddy.
Yeah, maybe. So I think it's going to be a great game. I feel like for the defense to really capitalize and hopefully really try and go at a backup quarterback. Now, there are some times where backup quarterbacks do well. I mean, we've been seeing a backup quarterback in Sam Darnold doing well for the Vikings. But right now, it just seems like with the coaching, from what I've heard from Cowboys fans as well, some of them are not confident with still having Mike McCarthy as the head coach. So even having a new quarterback, some of them still don't feel confident. Some of them do. But I think that's the main objective, though. I mean, having a backup quarterback, having an injured, I think he's going to play CeeDee Lamb, but we'll see what happens. I think the Eagles are going to, honestly, that they're going to pounce on a defenseless, I feel like, Dallas Cowboys team right now. And I'm excited. I'm just so pumped. I love Dallas games. You know, I got family members who are Cowboys fans. I love to give them crap. I love to, honestly, just like, because they always brag in my face, which isn't really often, but I just always like going back and forth. It's always funny for sure. So it's a good rivalry. I love the rivalry. It'll never get old. It will never get old in my book. So that's why I feel about this game. And I am so pumped. And I think the Eagles do get the, I don't know if we're doing predictions now. Well, I think we did. I think I did say a score prediction on Wednesday. I think I pretty much did. I forget what I even said. I think I said like somewhere around like 28 to, I think it was 21 or something like that. It was around that field. So I might be off by a couple numbers, but just say I think it's going to be a little bit of a closer game, but the Eagles will itch out a win. And it'll be a good win where we don't feel like, oh, like how we were feeling against the Jaguars. Like, I think this one's going to be more of like, all right, like a more relaxed kind of win. Like we were able to not stress out in the fourth quarter. So yeah, I think it'll be a good one. Can't wait.
I got a good feeling about it too. And like you said, this is for Eagles fans respectively every year our Super Bowl. If we don't make it to the Super Bowl, that is. Suck it, Cowboys fans, because you guys haven't made it in years. But in all fairness, yeah, this is a very important game for Eagles fans and for Cowboys fans, both. This is, every team's, I think, most hated team for Eagles fans and for Cowboys fans. There's no team that the Eagles hate more than the Cowboys. And I think it's almost an honor to be the most hated team by the Cowboys because the Cowboys have so many enemies. They have so many teams that just fucking despise them in the NFL. Teams that aren't even in their own division, they have rivalries with. But the Eagles for the Cowboys, especially in recent memory, it's that Batman and Joker relationship that I always talk about. But this time, I don't know, Mac. I want to ask you, does it feel a little bit different to you because Dak's out and the Cowboys aren't playing at full caliber? Like, it doesn't feel the same to me, first off.
Yeah, I would say it does feel a little different, but I feel like this has been like a kind of repeating kind of thing. Either Jalen was out last year, I believe. Was that last year or the year before? No, it was the year before. Yeah, that was the year before because that was the year Minshew was playing. When we played them around Christmas and Jalen couldn't play. We wanted to see the matchup between Jalen and Dak, which I feel like we haven't really even seen that to be. I mean,
a few times maybe.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Have we seen like a legit matchup between Jalen and Dak? I can't recall it because like either one quarterback's hurt or the other quarterback's hurt. It's just how it is. It's how the ball rolls, and it just sucks. It's unfortunate. I want to see both quarterbacks out there healthy, and it's just it's odd for sure. But yes, I do feel like it's a little different. And obviously, being Eagles fans too. I mean, we're on a high right now. We're doing great as a team. We feel like we have a lot of talent. I mean, we're winning games. We won 4 games in a row. Sometimes when we win a certain amount of games in a row, then we get to the next game and we're like, okay, we're going to beat the crap out of a team. And we get surprised somehow and we get humbled. We get a piece of humble pie and we're like, all right, we got to wake up and realize, yeah, this team can be defeated sometimes. This team can get in their heads a little bit. So, yeah, I do feel like it is a little different, but I don't feel like that game is this game. I think the Eagles will go down to Dallas, take care of business. I think they know the excitement, the important, I guess like the
importance.
Yeah, importance. Yes, I was trying to combine importance of this rivalry and this game. So I think they know that they got to win this game because the Steelers could beat the Commanders. So that would be great advantage for us to have one more game of a lead and actually be in the lead in the NFC East. That would be great. And then get to play the Commanders on Thursday. So I think that would be a great advantage for us. So yeah, I do think this game will not be that humble pie game. I think we will get the dub. We'll go down there and have a good game of football.
So it doesn't look like right now, at least on Bet Rivers, because I'm checking it out. I was going to go with any other Eagles player for an anytime touchdown. It doesn't look like they're offering it right now, which I find very interesting. And they're not offering it for a Cowboys either. So
that's
I got to
you're
figure
in
out
Delaware and you guys can only do Bet Rivers because you guys are lame.
Well, no disrespect to Bet Rivers. If Bet Rivers would ever want to
I'm kidding. I'm just kidding.
Another good opportunity. Hey, I'll take it. Don't worry. But hey, if Bet Rivers would ever want to work with us, let me know. I would love that because I've been very impressed with the Bet Rivers app in Delaware. I've almost grown accustomed to it. But yes, I'll look on more odds. I think DraftKings is actually giving me a free $20 bet too for my birthday. We have no sponsor yet. So betting wise. Yeah. But point being,
I thought we do with no, we don't. I thought we did.
Yeah, we don't have like a sports book yet.
No.
Yeah. Soon. But point being, if I could take any bet, I really want to take that defensive touchdown bet.
Yeah.
Back up. There's just so many things that point.
You guys, don't worry. I just meant.
Don't worry. It's all good. You don't.
I just meant it was funny that Delaware only has one place you can actually.
It's some legality thing or something, but I forget why. But point being, I would go take this bet if I was you guys. I could really see the Eagles defense making an impact tomorrow with a backup QB. I think Saquon Barkley will have a touchdown or two, but I don't see, like, if you look at Saquon's past couple of games too, they've really utilized him. He's been 176 in the Giants, 108 against Cincinnati, and 159 against Jacksonville. So the last time Saquon really got a break was about a month ago against Cleveland, I would say, when he had 47 yards and 18 takes. Now, obviously, he was going up against a great defensive front in Cleveland with Myles Garrett, somebody that's one of the best in the league. But I think the Eagles should almost try to give him not an off day, but I would probably say, and that's not often that I say this, give Saquon the ball maybe 15 times and let some of the younger guys get the ball, try to air it out. Dallas Goedert's coming back this week. Game plan to not kill Saquon Barkley, because, you don't got to, crush him every single game and have him coming off of these games. Like 27 takes was a lot last week. Did he deliver? Hell yeah. But save that for the playoffs. Running back is such a position that is so injury common. And I don't mean that like as a slight at Saquon. I think Saquon has been healthy all year, but don't take the chance. Like, as the Eagles organization, you need to be smart enough to not even put your guy in harm's way and say, okay, you know what? Like, we're playing an extremely inferior team right now with the backup quarterback, and our team should be good enough to only give the ball to Saquon 15 times. And Saquon should be good enough to beat up on that inferior team. So we'll see. But KJ, how are you feeling? Final thoughts?
Yeah, I think this is going to be a good game, as I said before, and I'm just ready for Sunday.
That's why I would rest him. I like this take a lot by Joe Santo
for Barkley.
This is a great take. Joe, if you aren't subscribed yet, man, make sure to subscribe. Stay in the community, bro. This is a great take. I like this take a lot.
But the Commanders game touches.
You save Saquon for that, and then you give Saquon the ball 30 times on that Thursday night. I mean, I like that. So. It's going to be a big game.
I like
that game.
I like that too. I mean, I know that people want to go down there, go watch Saquon just dominate the Cowboys, but I think it would be obviously great to save him for the Commanders game. I don't know if he wants to do a rest game, which like I've been hearing about, but like, I don't know. I mean, I think maybe you just kind of maybe get Kenny Gainwell and Will Shipley more involved in this game, because maybe they might have a big game against a struggling Dallas defense. So we'll totally see. I think it would be great to get those guys in the mix, and especially trying to save Saquon for Thursday, because it is going to be a short week for the players in general. So I mean, they're going to have to get right back to it, especially back on Monday. I mean, like they'll be traveling, and then they'll probably get back to it practice wise Tuesday. So they'll probably be back in Philly on Tuesday. I mean, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll see what happens.
We'll see. But hey,
yeah,
Dallas Cowboys, get that ass ready for the ass whooping, because it is coming. Ready. Philadelphia Eagles coming for you guys. I appreciate everybody. 28 of you guys tuned in right now. We appreciate all y'all for tuning in this Saturday morning with us. Tune in next week. Chaos Chris should be back with us next week. If not, the following week, we'll all be here getting ready for Thanksgiving with you guys too. So stay tuned.
Gobble.
That. Yeah, gobble, like Max said. But like I said as well, want to thank you guys all for tuning in. Have a great rest of your weekend, and go Birds.
Go Birds. Beat Dallas. Dallas sucks.
This is Jared Jones of the Dallas Cowboys. If you Philadelphia Earthquake coming down to Philly, which is on Disbelief Stadium, don't come down to Dallas. We're coming down. I'm coming down, Jared Jones. Oh, yeah. I can tell you.